Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel Crafty Concepts with Erin. Today I have a scrapbook layout for you featuring this Wander collection. Now if you missed it, last week I showed this whole collection in detail. Here I just have part of it, so if you want to see that I'll leave it in the description box below. But I have these photos of my family and some friends. We're sitting around the campfire roasting marshmallows, so I'm going to do a s'mores page. Just to switch things up, I'm starting with a sheet of linen cardstock rather than white daisy. And now I know I want my pictures oriented like this. This is a 4x6, a 3x4, and a 3x3. And I know I have that oriented wrong. I'll fix it in a second, don't worry. So I have this pattern paper here that reminds me of the night sky. I've cut it to 7.5 by 11. I'm going to put this one here on the right hand side. And this pattern paper, super cute. This is 5 by 9.5 that I've trimmed it down to. I am going to do a little inking of the edge of this paper here. So I have my ink blending tool and my Sapphire ink, and I'm just quickly going around the edge to kind of finish that off. I love doing this, very simple, but makes a big difference. And you'll notice I have equal margins on either side of my layout here. And so I'm going to bring back in my photos. I definitely want to bring in this paprika color. This is a featured color in this paper pack, and it's perfect because it really reminds me of my campfire in the photo. So I love it when it works out that way. I am offsetting my photo mat, so it's just showing on the top and the left-hand side. It's just kind of a different look rather than all the way around. And this is just a scrap of paper left over, and I'm going to tuck it behind this 4x6 photo, and you'll never know it's not one solid strip of paper there. I'm just putting a little quick dovetail banner in the bottom because we have a lot of, hard angles on this layout. So this will just kind of break that up and add some interest. These photos were taken last summer on our motorhome road trip, and at this particular stop we were camping in Mesa Verde, and it was so pretty. This is a little zip strip here that I'm adding to the side. The zip strips are the branding strip on the top of the pattern paper. So I'm bringing in more of that paprika color there. And for my title, I want to use a simple serif die, and I'm going to spell out s'mores. So I'll have to cut the S twice. That's not a big deal. I'm using the paprika, so I'll just layer this right over the top of those dies, make my little sandwich, and run this through my die cutting machine. One of my favorite things about Close to My Heart's cardstock is the white core. So I'm sanding this to give it a little distressed look, and I'll show you a close-up of the difference, and it just looks really cool, I think. My title is going to fit perfectly right over the top of these pictures, and it stands out really nicely against that sapphire colored pattern paper in the background. So we will just line those up right there. And then there are a few stickers from the sticker sheet that I want to include. There's this little square with the campfire, and of course the marshmallow skewered on a stick. And I'm going to layer these right up top by the title, and I think that is just really cute. Those are perfect. I am going to create a few embellishments with the coordinating stamps. So this is the Wander card making stamp. Cheers to s'more years, and there's a cute little s'more there. And then this is the Wander scrapbooking stamp. There is another little marshmallow roasting stick right there if you wanted to repeat that on your layout. So I have a stitched circle and a piece of scrap paper here. I'm using Sapphire and espresso, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment, or not really sentiment, but this little saying, cheers to s'more years, right on the circle. And then I'm going to use the espresso for my little marshmallow sandwich here. Deliciousness. So back to the photos, we were camped in Mesa Verde for the night, and we kept hearing this squeaking noise coming from the forest. We all decided that it definitely sounded like an animal, and we thought, well, maybe it's a little fawn, and we couldn't help ourselves. It was like going on for quite some time, so we decided to kind of explore to see what it was, and it ended up being the wind rubbing tree branches together. I'm showing you these two little trees and this sentiment from the stamp set, and it is perfect because we are camping with friends, and this says "so glad we're friends" with a cute little arrow on it. So I'm definitely adding this to the layout. So anyway, when we figured out it was just the wind rubbing the tree branches together, we all felt pretty silly, but it did sound like a little fawn or something like that. So we had a good laugh at ourselves, and that's going to be what I'm talking about in my journaling on this layout. So I die cut a few of those little trees, and I'm going to try a few different areas where I could put this, and let's see, maybe there. Yeah, here, I like it over the corner of the photo there, and then this will work perfectly in that area. And our little s'more here, I'm going to layer them up top with our marshmallow stick. And then these cute little trees, there's two different sizes, so I'll put a big one and a little one next to each other, overlapping my little circle here, and then I'll repeat the other two up by my title just to kind of draw that green color up. I like the way this little circular element softens the edge of the photo there. So for my title, I'm going to use my tweezers and the Tombow Mono Liquid Glue and go ahead and get this on the back so I can get these tacked down in place. I really like this simple serif die from the annual catalog, and the annual catalog will be renewing. It'll switch over to the new one in September. So I'm sure there'll be more amazing dies in that catalog, but the simple serif die, if you love it, you might want to add that to your collection while you can. It's just the perfect size for scrapbook layouts, and there's the uppercase and a lowercase also. The little picture on the right is my husband and son, and they're looking at each other, and you can see my son has kind of a smirk on his face. And it was really funny because they were having a debate over how to prepare the best marshmallow and of course the s'mores. So there was like all these detailed, ways of coming up with the best marshmallow. Personally, I like mine burnt. I just put it right in the fire, torch it. You got a little flaming ball of marshmallow, blow it out, and when it cools down enough, eat it, and it's delicious. So you can see I'm adding some foam tape to the back of my circle here, and I also did the So Glad We're Friends strip with foam tape, and now I'm just kind of layering these little trees over the top there, and I'm going to glue this little guy right down because it's just too small to put foam tape behind. So that one I'm going to glue to the cardstock, and then I thought it might be kind of fun to sand these, so I am rubbing it with a nail file just to add a little distressing like we did in the title, and I'll go ahead and glue those down. Now I already glued the other ones down, so those are going to be interesting to sand. Let's see if I can pull it off here. We'll just kind of rub it over the paper, and yep, look at that. We've got some sanding. So for my journaling, I printed that out on my computer, and now I have the tags from the Tags and Tabs thin cuts. So I'm going to line that up where I want it to be on the tag and use a little Post-it removable tape to secure that in place so it doesn't move around when I die cut it. And now I have my journaling on a cute little tag there. So there is that marshmallow stick from the stamp set there. So I'm going to underline my journaling with that marshmallow and then use this cute little campfire on the little open corner there on the bottom. And I stamped those in alcohol ink, so I didn't want to use my alcohol markers. It would bleed. So I'm just using some colored pencils to color a little orange on the flame, and then I'll add a little kind of a espresso brown to color in the two little logs there. Normally I like to cut my journaling into strips, so I thought it'd be a fun change to put it on a tag. I have a little piece of white ribbon that I'm just running through and folding over. I'm not tying that. I'm going to use this orange twine that I've had in my stash forever and then tie a little loop to secure the white ribbon. So we'll just tie it once and then twice to make a little knot. I just think this adds a little interest and something different, so I like to tie my tags this way. I'll trim off the tails, and now to kind of fan the ribbon out there, you can use a glue dot or a little tape runner, and I actually tape it down to the paper just to hold it in place so it doesn't line up on top of each other. All right, we'll get that out of the way, and I'll hold this up so you can see those cute little icons on the journaling tag there. I love how we combine stickers from the sticker sheet, stamped images, and die cuts to embellish this fun layout. I hope you guys were inspired. This paper pack is perfect for your outdoor adventures. Here's a few more videos I think you'll enjoy. And if you're not already a subscriber, I would love to have you be part of the Crafty Concepts with Erin community. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.